new testimony now at the Lindsay Clancy trial. The Massachusetts woman charged with murdering her 3 children, ages 5, 3, and 8 months old. Prosecutors say she acted coldly and calculatingly. The defense says she was bipolar and had postpartum psychosis and insists she repeatedly tried to get medical help. Dr. Jessica Gray, board-certified family medicine physician, is standing by, and Donna Rotuno, criminal defense attorney. She is live at the courthouse. First, though, we check in with national correspondent Brian Yennis. He is at the courthouse in Plymouth, Massachusetts, with an update on everything that has gone down so far today. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Jillian. Well, court is now in a short recess, but we are hearing from one of the prosecution's final witnesses, expert witnesses, before closing arguments. The doctor, his name is Dr. Kirk Heilbronn, a forensic psychologist, and he says after interviewing Lindsay Clancy and reviewing her records, he testified he does not believe Clancy killed her 3 children because a male voice commanded her. Dr. Heilbronn says Clancy's account of the voice has inconsistencies and a temporary psychotic break is extremely rare.
She only experienced it for the 18 minutes or so that it took to kill the children. And to put it mildly, that would be a very, very unusual pattern or manifestation of how this kind of thing comes about. Very unusual.
Instead, Dr. Heilbronn testified he believes Clancy was attempting suicide and wanted to take her children with her. Today, Clancy's defense attacked another prosecutor expert who says Clancy did not have postpartum psychosis.
What are you smiling for? This is not funny, sir.
Sustained. Next question.
How many times have you testified in courts on the issue of criminal responsibility?
I would estimate 1 or 2.
You're telling me, sir, that you don't believe or buy postpartum psychosis. Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that at all.
Okay.
We expect one more prosecutorial rebuttal witness and perhaps even closing arguments beginning tomorrow. Jillian?
All right, a lot of eyeballs on this trial as it unfolds. Brian Yennis, thank you. Let's bring in Dr. Jessica Gray, board-certified family medicine physician. Dr. Gray, let's pick up there where the soundbite from the trial left off, and that is with postpartum psychosis. The prosecution's medical expert there was saying if this suicidal and then murderous ideation that Lindsay experienced happened the way she said it did, it would be highly, highly unusual. What's your take on that?
Well, honestly, as a board certified physician myself, who actually does treat postpartum women in my clinic often, I found this testimony this morning very compelling. I'm not going to comment specifically on Lindsay Clancy's case. She wasn't a patient of mine, but when you're looking at the definitions of what we're talking about, specifically with the hallucinations, he broke down the differences between true psychotic hallucinations versus malingering hallucinations. And I did appreciate that he was able to give us the points and going point by point, a point for this would maybe point more towards malingering or factitious, but she could have maybe fabricated or exaggerated, or then these points maybe go for a traditional psychotic hallucination. And so the fact he was able to break these down was really beneficial to even a physician like myself. Me and my other colleagues often were having these same discussions around this case. And so these experts like this are helpful when they can break it down into those specifics like that.
More generally speaking, doctor, is it sort of acceptable or possible in the medical community's estimation that a person can have postpartum psychosis that would be the direct and only cause for them to commit murder, period?
No, I mean, not necessarily. We see people who have severe mental illnesses, commit horrible crimes all of the time. And so that is the true question. And I think that the hard thing when we're looking at this case is it seems like, okay, is she suffering from a mental illness or is she not, and fabricating this, which that's not what either of these sides are truly saying. Either way, this woman is suffering from a mental illness significantly. The question just becomes about culpability, which that's a legal question. But for the medical standpoint, yes, she definitely has a mental illness. But the question becomes, again, is it truly this psychosis where she was completely devolved from reality and was not able to control herself, or was this a more conscious decision? And that's why they're breaking this down in such depth, and they're going through every moment. They're looking at timing. They're talking about specifics about the hallucinations, so much more than we would with another illness.
Very important clarity. Dr. Gray, thanks for bringing us your expertise this morning. We really appreciate it. This afternoon, I should say.
Thank you.
Also with us, live from that courthouse, there is Donna Rotuno, criminal defense attorney, host of the Crime and Justice with Donna Rotuno podcast, also a Fox News contributor. Donna, it strikes me that in this case, the biggest advantage the defense has going for it is that there is no picture, or there's no like pictorial or video evidence of this crime, meaning we're sort of automatically talking about everything that happened in that basement that day in a sort of sanitized manner, right? We're never going to have CCTV footage that shows her carrying out these heinous acts that she admits to carrying out.
Sure, you're absolutely right, Jillian. We don't have any video of it. We don't have any still photographs of what happened while it was going on. But what we do have is evidence in a courtroom. And even if you listen to every single one of these experts, like the doctor said, there was no doubt she was suffering from mental illness. The question becomes, was she capable of controlling herself, and did she understand the severity of her actions? And you have to look at all the other evidence in this case to make that determination. You have to say, was she someone who you thought would have committed these crimes? Did she ever abuse her children? Was she ever a mother that was not loving? And even the doctors that testified on rebuttal for the government cannot say that. They're all saying that she had this loving home, that she didn't believe in punishment, that she didn't even like to raise her voice at her children. So for the jury to try to understand or reconcile in their own mind why she may have done this, you have to look at all the other evidence in conjunction to what these doctors are saying. And every single doctor that testified acknowledges and points out the fact that she had some type of illness. And I'm not sure the jury is going to distinguish between what kind, and I'm not sure they're actually going to make that distinction, right, to determine whether or not she knew the ramifications of her actions, could appreciate it, and or could have stopped herself. So that's really what this becomes.
And the defense, Donna, is trying to put maternal medicine and maternal mental health on trial here, meaning they are arguing this is a mentally unwell woman who was failed by doctors at every turn. Some parallels there, interestingly, to the Luigi Mangione trial, which is unearthing a lot of anger that Americans have towards the health insurance and the medical industry.
Well, I think the difference in Luigi Mangione is Luigi Mangione himself had physical pain, right? He was not seeing doctors for mental health that would show that he could not control his actions, and that's much different. And I think what we're seeing here is two things can be true at once, right? It can be absolutely awful that we have 3 children dead, but it also can be true that a legal defense, a mental health defense that is appropriate, can also be raised. So once we have mental health defenses available, there's something that we have to talk about and wonder, does that take away some of the culpability?
Yeah. All right, Donna, thanks for being there at the courthouse for us. Great coverage today. We appreciate it.